Hey, what's up guys? My name is Saurav and this is my YouTube channel Data Science Novice. So if you are new to my YouTube channel, please do like and subscribe. Your efforts are massively appreciated. So in the previous video, we imputed the missing values for numerical variable and we treated outliers for the same. So if you haven't watched that video, go ahead and watch it because this video is a continuation with the previous video. So in this video, we are going to do some more data cleaning and variable selection. So let's get started. So the first thing I want to talk about is the skewness of the target variable. Because in linear regression, we assume that data is normally distributed. So we have to check the skewness of the data. So in case of normally distributed data, skewness is 0. Let's check for this variable. So if you don't know about skewness, you should read about it. So we are going to calculate it using simple function. So pandas has this skew function, that is what we are going to use. So dot skew, and we will have the skewness for the sales price. And you can see that here that skewness is 1.5, which means that target variable is skewed. Now our target is to reduce this skewness as much as possible. So one such method for this is log transformation. So we have to use natural log for this. And finding natural log is quite easy. We just have to call np.log and then we have to pass this variable. And on that we are going to call skew method. So now here you can see that after log transformation, the skewness becomes 0.06, which is almost equals to 0. And we can consider that the variable has been treated and there is no skewness in the target variable. Now let's make this change into the actual data, and for that we just have to call xtrain and sales price. Make sure that you remove this skewness, else you will be storing this 0.06. So just make sure you have this skew function removed. So there are few year columns in our data set. So we should do something with them. We should extract some data from them. Luckily in this project, there is a column called year sold, basically in which year the house was sold. This variable will help us extract the hidden data from the given data. So in a way, we are going to do some feature engineering now. But before doing that, let's see how these variable looks like. So we just have to call the variable and then we are going to call head method. So this year build telling us that in this year this house was built. Next we are going to check for year reno add. So it is for renovation. And then we have this garage variable. So it tells us in which year the garage was built. So now we are going to create a function. This will convert the year column into age, or you can say it is going to give us numerical value, which is going to be more meaningful for us. So it takes two parameters. So first we have to pass the data frame and then the variable name. So inside this function, we are going to perform a simple subtraction. That is, we will subtract the column from year sold column. And this will give us different ages, like how old was the house when it was sold, or when was the last renovation happened, or the age of the garage when the house was sold, etc, etc. So we have 4 year columns, but we are going to consider only 3 because fourth will not make sense for this function. So next we are going to run a for loop on this list, and then we are going to apply our function that we have created. And this is something we have to do for all the data set. So this should look familiar to you because we have talked about it in the previous video. So we have treated the missing values, we have done the encoding, we have played around with outliers, and then we did some more data cleaning. Now, once we have all these done, next task is to scale the data set. But before that, we have to select the variables. And in this data set, we have sales price and ID column that we should not scale because it does not make sense to scale the unique ID. It's not a feature. And about the sales price, we have already applied the log transformation. So next we are going to create an empty list. So inside that we are going to store all the variables that we are going to scale. So next we have to run a for loop on the columns. And then we have to pass a simple condition, that is, if were not in the specified list which contain ID and sales price. So if this condition is true, we are going to append the variable into the feature scale list. Okay, so we are getting an error. Oops, this is a silly mistake, spelling mistake. Okay, let me correct it. So now let's check how many variable we have to scale. We just have to call length method and you can see that we have to scale 82 features. So this feature scaling code can be written more efficiently, and that is called list comprehension, in which we just have to write the whole code inside a list. So let me write it for you. And you won't have any problem understanding this code because I have written both the codes side by side. So now you can compare both the codes and draw a conclusion that how this code is working. And now let's check the length of this list by just calling length method. And now you can see that it is also 82. So both the codes are doing same thing. You can use either of them, although most people prefer list comprehension because it's much cleaner. While treating missing values, I made a mistake and it was a deliberate one. I wanted to show you something. So let us see whether we have missing value in the categorical variable. So first we are going to check it for training data. And if you scroll down, you see that everything is fine. Now let's do the same for the test data and see if we have missing values or not. And now if we scroll down, and we can see that we have three missing values, then we have one missing values. So why this is so? This is because we made the split even before applying the technique. So somewhere around the split was such that we did not have the example for this particular value in our training data. Hence this is left even after treating the missing values. So now this is your job, that how to deal with this kind of situation. As of now, I am going to fill them with mode, but you should explore this situation more, that how you can make your function such that you do not have any problem like this. So first we are going to calculate the mod on the basis of training data. And then what we have to do, we just have to fill the missing value for test set, and the test and the data we have to submit on Kaggle. So let me do that and let me fast forward it. And now let's do the sanity check. So I'm going to copy paste the same code here. And now you can see that we do not have missing values. So this means our data is ready. Now let's scale the data set, and for that we are going to use min-max scaler, and it is going to scale the values between 0 and 1. So why we scale the data set? This is something you can find on my blog as well. So we are going to import the min-max scaler from sklearn.preprocessing. Next, we are going to instantiate this min-max scaler, and if you are coming from C++ or any other object-oriented programming language, then it should not confuse you. Next, we are going to call the data, and we pass the list of feature we have to scale. Next, we are going to call our scaler, and then we are going to call fit transform method. So this function does two things. First, it fit the data. That means it learned the parameter from the training data, and the transform the data using the transformation function. So that's why we call it fit transform. Next, we are going to transform other data set as well. But this time we are not going to call fit transform method because we have already fit the data on training data. Now we just have to call the transform function for transforming these data set as well. So now we have to separate our target variable. So we are going to call them y train, and that is going to be equals to x train and the sales price. Then similarly, we are going to create y test, and that is going to be x test and then the sales price. Next, we are going to drop ID column because it has no use in model building. And also we are going to drop sales price because we have already saved that variable. So in order to drop these two variables, we just have to call drop method. And inside that, we are going to pass a list in which we are going to pass ID and sales price. Next, we have to pass axis equals to 1 because we are dropping column. So 0 means we are dropping row. Next, we are going to pass in place equals to true. So this will make the changes in original data. So I'm going to copy paste the same code, and this time we are going to do the same thing with X test. And the last thing we have to do is we have to drop the IDs from the third data set because sales price is not in that data set, so we don't have to do that. Now the last thing I want to talk about is variable selection. Since we have 82 variables, obviously we are not going to feed this to algorithm. We have to select the variables. So we are going to fit a linear regression with lasso regularization. We then can evaluate the coefficient of the different variable and remove those variables which coefficients are 0. So now we are going to import two things. So first we are going to import lasso from sklearn linear models. Then we are going to import select from model from sklearn feature selection. And this will allow us to dig deep into the variable selection method. Obviously, I cannot talk about them how do they work because they are quite a big topic. So feel free to explore on internet. Next, we are going to instantiate the select from model. And inside that, we are going to pass lasso regularization. And this lasso regularization takes few parameters. So first we have to pass the alpha value. So in this case, I'm going to pass 0.01. Next, we have to pass the random state so that the results are reproducible. So you can pass any value, but I would suggest you to pass the same value. And now we just have to fit this model. So we are going to pass the X train and Y train data. And just like that, we have fit the model. Now we are going to create an empty list. And inside that, we are going to save all the selected variables. So we are going to name this list as a feature selected. And then we are going to call our xtrain.columns. So here the code gets little complicated. So in square bracket, we have to pass another bracket, and inside that we are going to write a code sfm.getSupport, and this function returns boolean values. So it returns true and false. True for the variable that are selected by the algorithm and false for those variables which are not selected by the variable. Sorry algorithm. So now let's check how many variables get selected. And for that we just are going to call length function, and inside that we are going to pass this list. And here you can see that we have selected only 34 variables out of 82 variables. And now you can also print the list. So let's see how what are the variables. So here you can see that ms subclass, ms zoning, these are the variables selected by the algorithm. Now let's see how the alpha value change all these things. And here you can see that if I increase the alpha value, the number of variable getting selected is less. So you see, if we increase the value of alpha, we are going to get less variables. So this is kind of penalty. If we are lenient, we are getting more variable, and if we are strict, we are getting less variable. And this is something you can play around with. As of now, for this project, I am going to keep it equals to 0.0037. So once we have list of important feature, next task is to create the data set, or you can say remove all the unnecessary variables. So and there are many ways to do that. Either you can use drop method or just pass the list in square bracket and save it in a variable. So I'm going to show you the second method because my work is to expose you to different codings for the same thing. It's ultimately your choice to choose from. And obviously we have to make these changes in other data set as well. And now our data set is ready to be fed to the machine learning algorithms. And that is something we will do in the next video because there will be learned different models, and we will see that how we can combine two models for the prediction. So that's all for this video. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe and press the bell icon for the future updates. See you in the next video. Till then, bye, stay safe and wear a mask.